logistics and planning, so I work very closely with the construction manager here so we can identify homes that need repair and work with other organizations in the community to see how we can best approach fixing up some of these homes.
I am the art teacher at Plantersville, so I've been teaching visual art, painting, drawing, all that good stuff, but then I've also been incorporating performing arts because that's where my background mostly lies, in theater. So we did a full skit with the 8th graders. We've been doing a bunch of paintings, a bunch of 3D art sculptures, so yeah, it's been a really good summer.
This summer at Plantersville, I've been tutoring kids who need special help outside the classroom, be it for behavioral or academic reasons. And so I've been meeting with 19 kids for 30-minute sessions 2 or 4 times a week. And we've been working on math and English and things like that to just help them get more confident in the classroom.
So I've been in the computer lab, so I've been teaching just like basic computer skills to the younger kids. And then with some of the older ones, we've been doing keyboarding and a little bit of computer programming.
This summer I've been doing 3 main things, I'd say. Working on the weekly newsletter for Plantersville Summer Academy and the Summer Bridge program. I've been tutoring here as well and also working on some projects for the Village Group. So I'm developing some long-term fundraisers that I and the other Duke interns have started planning.
I've been helping Grace and Joel with IEPs, some just one-on-one tutoring and reading comprehension, but I've also been the Spanish teacher for grades 4, 6 through 10. So I'm with them 30 minutes every day, just teaching them some basic stuff like that you learn in Spanish 1 in high school, like conversational phrases like what is your name and how are you, but also how to count to 100, the colors, months, days, adjectives, verbs, things like that.
The Family Justice Center is a domestic violence advocacy organization. So there are 3 main services. We have a case manager that works one-on-one with our clients on practical things like housing and transportation, finding jobs, things like that. So I've been shadowing them a little bit. We also have an adult counselor and a children's counselor, so to work on sort of the mental health and emotional pieces that come along with this. And then my favorite so far has been working with the court advocate. So I've gone up to Conway to sit in on some order of protection hearings and things like that. So we don't have any attorneys on staff, but the court advocate does an incredible job.
This summer I've been working with Ms. Ruby's Kids, a nonprofit organization here in Georgetown that's focused on bridging the gap for kids before they start school. And the way they do that is through a model of the National Parent-Child Home Program, PCHP. And they're actually nearing their 15th year anniversary here in Georgetown, so I've been going back through the files of the 15 years, the students that they've helped, and I've been compiling a sort of database of all the students, trying to get contact info, and also researching their test scores to see if the PCHP program has had any effect, and if so, how much of an effect it's had on their test scores.
So this summer I've been working here at the Tidelands Community Care Network, and the Tidelands Community Care Network is an organization that helps connect people in the Georgetown area, in the Murrells Inlet area, who don't have the ability to pay for their health care, either through being uninsured, through only being partially insured, or just lacking the education that would help them navigate the programs. Connects them with affordable health care, with transportation, with getting their medications properly, and getting them the long-term education and planning that they need in order to lead happy and healthy lives.
So I'm working at the Helping Hands of Georgetown, which is a nonprofit here that tries to alleviate poverty through short-term and long-term solutions. So some of their short-term solutions are the ones you saw as you entered, which is the food pantry and the clothing closet. They also do utilities assistance, so people can get help once a year. And some of the long-term solutions are the ones you don't see in the front office, but I've had the opportunity to help communicate those long-term efforts by producing videos for the organization, helping with their jobs program, which is once a month. It's a week-long boot camp.
This summer I've been splitting my time between Bethel AME's church and their historic Bethel Incorporated, and then the Georgetown County Library's main branch. So at Bethel, I've been working a little bit with oral history interviews. We've done one of those, we may be doing another, and then primarily worked with doing publicity and management and preparation and organization for their big produce distribution that we had on June 30th, in which we distributed a lot of produce to the community. So that took a lot of like organization and preparation, and that was the main thing I've been working on there. And then at the library, I've been helping out with some skills classes during the summer of skills, doing some photography, some videography, and that kind of stuff, and helping a little bit with publicity there.
I think my favorite thing is honestly getting to know everyone and getting close to all the students. The teachers here are amazing, and they're so wonderful to talk to and learn from, but the students here are so smart, and they have so many valuable lessons to teach, and so I feel like I've kind of done the opposite of what a teacher should do. I hope they've learned from me, but I know I've learned more from them than they could ever learn from me.
The kids are really amazing. They're so full of joy and energy, and it's really contagious.
I really enjoy developing the newsletter because it brings together a lot of the voices here, because I get little weekly updates from teachers and incorporate them into the newsletter. But I'd say my favorite moments are definitely the quiet times with an individual, whether that's talking to Miss Funny in the morning or tutoring a student in my office for the little time we have together.
My favorite part about working here, honestly, is just seeing the care coordinators and the nurses in action. They're all such, passionate and engaged people, and you can tell that they bring the zest and selflessness to what they do every single day. And it's inspirational, it's contagious, it's an attitude that feeds off of everyone that you work with, and it really has given this organization this sort of energy that I personally have admired in my time here.
I think helping individuals. I get a lot of time in the front-facing kind of operations. The food pantry is what I think is most meaningful to me. I feel like giving someone food, that's a very intimate and very special thing, and it's a bond that I'm getting to share with strangers, and it just makes me kind of feel more grounded and really look at the individuals that are around me in this community.
I've really loved working with our construction manager, Mr. Clinch. He's the one who goes out and visits all these homes, and we just have a lot in common. So we start talking about technology and facilities management, and it's a whole ton of fun.
Probably the biggest takeaway is that it's made me a lot more service-minded. It's made me see a lot more opportunities in places that I didn't see before. Particularly earlier this week, I got to help out with the fresh like bread and produce distribution day at Bethel. And it's given me some ideas for things I can take back to campus and maybe work on there to make it more sustainable and more community friendly with what we deal with there. And then it's also given me an outlet to use things I've learned with journalism and implement that in a good way for a community.
Patience, I think, is one of the biggest things, because I knew that I was going to be doing research, like researching the test scores, researching the students, but it's kind of like when you think of research, you think of it's like this glorified term that you're like, ooh, research. But I had to start from scratch, and that meant spending a lot of time in a closet with files, and that's like the not so glamorous part about research that we don't often get to see.
I think I've been really inspired by the people that I work with, their dedication, the amount of time they put into this, and their selflessness. I think particularly I've really worked with Mr. Clinch a lot, and he's despite personal obstacles that he has, always putting in all of his time and all of his effort to try and help out where he can. So I've been very inspired by that.
Working on the ground one-on-one with clients can be really, really difficult because there are a lot of factors that are specific to one individual's life that you can't necessarily be prepared to help them handle. So biggest takeaway, I think, is things are complicated.
I think I've learned a lot of patience when working with other people, especially the younger ones. Like post testing the first graders last week was it was hard when you were pointing to different letters in the alphabet, and it took them a while, but obviously they're very small, you have to be patient with them, and that's not something you really learn when you're around around people your own age all the time?
I think the biggest takeaway on a more personal level would probably be that no matter what job I do, I want to have children there and I want to be able to work with children because I think our world could really use a lot of their creativity and imagination, and I think this age group and younger people are some of the most intelligent and smart and creative people in the entire world, and so yeah, I think I've learned that I want to hang out with kids for the rest of my life.
The kids are just all really inspirational because they've all persevered through a whole lot. A lot of them come from like foster care or single parent households, and just the things that they say like really open your eyes.
I am so grateful that I've like had the chance to be here. Like I never imagined myself, like never in my life did I think that I would get to spend like a whole summer in elementary school again. And I'm just like really thankful that I had the chance to meet all the incredible adults and kids here.
I think I've enjoyed living with the 11, like there's 10 other ones, students living in the same house because I had a single this year during the school year, and while I enjoyed the privacy and being able to adjust the thermostat however I liked, I think it's something about just being surrounded by these individuals that are so driven and have so many goals that it just kind of, it's contagious.
Well, to be diplomatic about it, it's been interesting living in a house with 10 other people. I feel like I've really grown close to the people that I've lived with, more than just about probably anyone outside of my family before, so it's been a truly amazing experience for me.
I feel like I have 260 new friends, and I really, really hate leaving them today, but they all are so creative and intelligent and so passionate and kind, and this is such a good community of children, and it's so cool to see these little kindergartners and knowing that they're going to grow up and be just such amazing leaders, and they're going to be so talented and smart, and I really hope to come back and see how they develop throughout the years.
I've been very excited to be here in Georgetown this summer. It's been not at all what I expected, and I've really loved getting a little taste of the community, and I'm hoping to be able to return and feel like I have some friends here, and I'm sure that I do now.
It has made it more difficult to determine my major. I was considering a chemistry major, but what I'm doing here is not at all related to STEM. I'm much more interested in human services now. This is something that it makes my soul feel good when I'm doing this type of work. All of us, when we're at school, we're trying to provide answers that the teachers already have, or they're at the back of the book. But this is something that makes me actually feel really good.